Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talk Bridal to Me. I am so excited for today. We have Aislynn Ledesma here with Wildflowers Jewelry, and she makes the most elegant pieces to elevate your everyday. And I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Let's jump right in. You are so versatile when it comes to the jewelry world, and I know we were talking before we even started recording just about your creativity and the pieces you love to design. Tell me a little bit about your goals when it comes to designing jewelry.
So I really go for what I really like. I kind of stick with what's trending and kind of figure out my own spin on it. And I love to source things. So with that, I look for vendors that, have my type of style, but I actually take people's advice when I do polls and that kind of stuff. And so it kind of is just a mix of like what's coming into the jewelry industry and what people are into and, how everything works for me. It's kind of just my own ideas. I'm just like, oh, that looks good. Maybe we should try it and test it out and see if it works. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. It's just kind of like
that's amazing.
Hit or miss,
Well, and every time I'll see some of your reels or some of the jewelry you create, I'm like, how did she even come up with that? I feel like people need to, and I can look at a face and kind of figure out, okay, this would be awesome to go with this outfit, but I can't just like start from scratch without a piece of inspiration, like a color or tone in your outfit or thing. Do you find that that kind of helps with your inspiration?
It really does. I love looking at bouquets. Like if you've seen my reels, I do lots of floral work with like different kinds of flowers made out of clay. And that's literally inspired by a bouquet off of Pinterest. Yeah. Or, like a wallpaper that I saw and I thought it was really cute. And so that's another area that I get my inspiration from.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you work with clay, and I know like you also do work with metals. Yes. How do you go about doing all of that?
I had to do a lot of research. I even have a buddy, I have lots of clay buddies that have changed their direction and have started sourcing things. I just asked one of my friends one day, where, you don't have to tell me, you can gatekeep if you want.
Don't tell me all your secrets, you don't have to.
I know, you don't have to feel obligated to, but I was like, hey, I'm looking to just venture out into sourcing things that I just feel they go along with my everyday looks, because that's what everybody's looking for these days. Yeah. Is what can I throw on? What kind of hoops can I wear? Or what kind of dainty pieces could I put in my ears that will just kind of accentuate my face? And so he was like, yeah, here's the vendor. Here's how it goes. Make sure you look for certain things and quality. Yeah. And, I just went from there and I've really never had a complaint. Everybody loves the earrings. Gosh. They always say how light and dainty and just perfect. There's no sensitivity to them or anything. So it's just all in figuring out where you want to go with that.
Absolutely. Well, and they're so comfortable too. Yes. Like the hoops that I got from you, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I literally just wear them every day. Yeah. And because they go with everything. Yeah. And
that's my motto. I just want everybody to be able to wear them and not worry oh, my ears are going to turn green or, I'm going to flare up and have swelling in my ears. That's I had huge sensitivity to earrings. And that was my main concern was when I source these products, I need to find pieces that are going to work for everybody.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a huge concern among quite a few people.
Yeah. I get people asking me all the time. They're like, hey, are your earrings made with blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no, there's no nickel. There's no lead. You're going to have stainless steel, and it will be gold plated. I'm a gold girl. So
yes, me too.
If people see my feed, they're going to see all gold. Yeah. And that's just how it is. I'm sorry. If you have any customs that you want, I can get you silver, but I kind of base off what I enjoy. Yeah. And either people will like it or they won't.
Yeah. Well, and the true yellow gold is really coming back in.
It is. Yeah.
I see a lot of my brides and they'll have the yellow gold wedding ring. And I got married back in 2011 and everybody had the white gold. Yeah. Or the silver. And it's so funny. I'm like, well, you can tell when I got married because It was just like, that's
Yeah.
when that was.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's something so timeless about the yellow
I
gold
think so too.
that is just so classy.
Yeah, I think it's very classy. I have my great grandma's wedding ring, and I've always loved gold since I was little, you know? So I kind of am a little selfish in that with my feed. I'm like, if you want me to find you silver pieces, I'll find you silver pieces, but I'm really gold. And I know there's other people out there that are doing the same thing. They are just strictly gold.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and when it comes to bridal, do you find that there are any trends happening right now that brides are really looking for?
I'm not really sure with the trends because I am, focused on the everyday look. But when somebody comes to me, it's normally like they want something that's going to be their own and it's custom. So they get to choose how they want to have it. And it's special to them.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been for me with working with brides. They don't really want the everyday trendy. They want something that they can have and keep and say, oh, those are my earrings and nobody else has them.
Yes. I feel like there's such a beautiful statement. Like, I feel like there's either the hairpiece or like the big earrings.
Yes.
And not necessarily big, but just like true to themselves. Yes. How do you go about when a bride first reaches out to you? Like, how do you go about helping them create their vision?
It's really just communication. I really just dive in and they'll either tell me what they're looking for or I have to like ask questions. And the questions are, what does your dress look like? Show me a picture. And really, I've had a lot of brides be like, oh my goodness, you just do what you need to do. They've given me that. They've given me like the colors they want. Do they want silver? That's when I do the silver if they want that. Gold or, what kind of clay are they looking for? Are they looking for white? So they basically, I go through it and I tell them to tell me their bridesmaids, because I've had bridesmaids come to me or her be like, I want my earrings. I want 5 bridesmaids earrings. And so she'll give me colors. She'll give me obviously the date on when they're supposed to be getting married. And then I'll have everything ready and I will always ask them step by step as I'm making them. Does this color look good? Do you feel like this shape? They'll ask me, or I'll have them, like I'll have a bunch of shapes that they can choose from that are more towards bridal that I use for clay. And they'll choose the one that they like in that. And then we just keep going with, details. It's all in the details. So it kind of seems jumbled, but I make sure to listen to what they want because this is very special piece for them.
Absolutely. Well, and you kind of know the information that you have to get and the order of events that needs to happen to successfully create a piece. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of brides are looking for clay or are there other materials like the golds and silvers that they're really leaning towards?
So far, my brides have been clay.
Okay.
Yeah. My last bride, she got married in Mexico. It was probably last week or the week before. And I actually she buys my earrings for her shop. So she wholesales them.
That's
and
awesome.
She just came to me and she's like, I really want this clay piece to be this way. And we went through the colors. We went through the charms because they can pick out charms if they want charms dangling down from it. And, I asked her, like, do you want me to do metal? And because she had like a pretty, like, dainty, I don't even know what you call it. It's like a sleeve, but it was like diamond looking and it was really pretty. Kind of reminded me of a gypsy in a way. And so I thought, well, do you want metal? Because it just kind of ties in. She said, no. I want clay. I want it to be like perfect and I want it to be the way I want it. And I said, that's perfect.
That's
and it
great.
made me happy because I'm like, you really enjoy custom work and that made me feel special,
Oh, yeah. Well, and the people that are coming to you, they're not going to Claire's.
No.
Or Amazon. Like they're creating a one-of-a-kind custom piece that's perfect for them.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And that makes me happy because she was like, I love your earrings and I just want to wear them for my wedding. And, I want it to be special.
Absolutely. Are there other things that brides should consider or take into account when thinking about their jewelry for their wedding day? Like I know we talked about dress.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids colors.
They do. I even go based off bouquet colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes there was a bride that wanted her bouquet. She showed me kind of how it was going to be because, they plan ahead and they know how their bouquet is going to be.
Yes.
And so she was like, this is like what they're recreating for my bouquet. And I'd love to have bouquet flowers on my earrings.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's so many details that they'll give me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love the ones where they're like, here, just do what you think will work.
Yeah.
And then, they always end up loving it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit how you got started in this. Like, was it one of those things where you saw jewelry one day and you're like, oh, I love this? Or like you mentioned, you've loved gold since you were little. Like, just tell us a little bit about that.
I was in high school when I really told my mom I wanted to make jewelry. It kind of started off with wire. And then
fun.
That kind of didn't really work.
Yeah.
I
remember doing that too, really, like twisting rings and being like, this isn't working.
It just wasn't working. And then fast forward to like 2019 when I had it was more like 2020. Yeah. Because we're 3 years in. But I was pregnant with my middle child.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to stay home because I was a master esthetician. I had a horrible experience in that industry working in a salon under somebody. It just wasn't for me. I just wanted to find something that would be good for me and I'd be able to stay home and have a creative outlet because we talked about before, the podcast started. I had postpartum depression, like really bad. And when I have something to focus on, it helps me like get away from, the terrible things that you're thinking day in and day out. Yeah. So it really helped me with that. And one day I was just on Pinterest and I was like, what can I do to like be able to stay home or enjoy doing what I'm doing? And maybe one day will become something. Didn't really think it would become this.
We never do. Like I talk to so many people and they're always like, yeah, photography. It just went from taking pictures in my backyard to like, oh boy, I'm in Mexico.
Yeah. So I didn't think it would become that. But I'm so grateful that it did because it's shown me so many things business-wise. It's shown me so many things personally. Yeah. And it's just been a really fun experience.
Isn't that so fun?
It is.
When something
just takes off the way it needs to be.
Yes. Well, and you have daughters.
Yes.
Right. So do they get into like, are they so excited when mommy's?
Yes.
You're like, I remember like you have some horror stories, right?
I really do.
So tell us.
So to start off, when I first started, I had bought the wrong clay and I put it in the oven because when you make your pieces, it cures by baking them.
Okay, yes.
And it's just a crazy cool process with that. But I bought the wrong clay and it melted in the oven. And obviously I didn't do enough research, but after that I definitely did my research.
Oh, this isn't working.
So there's that story. And it was just, you are starting out. You don't know what you're doing, but you're going to figure it out, I guess, if you're really interested in it. Yep. And then I had one time, my daughter, I was working on a very, very intricate design for a person. They had asked me to do a bouquet again. Yes. And it was perfect. I had everything it was just so beautiful. And it was so beautiful. And my amazing daughter, my oldest, she was like little at the time. She's almost like 1.5. Yeah. She got into it and made her own bouquet and I had to start all over again.
You're just over there like, no.
Yeah, really. Yeah. It was a slow motion moment and it was like, okay, well, now we have to find somewhere to put this so that little hands don't get into it.
Yes.
Yep.
I remember having the lock on my office door.
Yes, we do that now.
Yes, because I remember one time I came in and my son had one of my brushes upside down and it was chunk in my palettes, and I was like,
and those are probably not expensive, or they're pretty expensive palettes,
I mean,
right?
I was like, no, they're worth $80.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And
what can you do, really?
No, you can't.
And
it is one of those things too where I was like, well, I left the door open. Yeah. Like, what did I expect? Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
So then we're like, and the gate goes up.
And you learn. You learn something.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Now they're old enough to where I'm like, I see you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me kind of look at my questions here. I know you have some jewelry that you have brought us today. Maybe show us some of what you have.
So these are the drip. I don't know do I show it this way?
Sure.
Okay. These are the drip ones. They have like cubic zirconia. And I absolutely love these.
Yeah.
These give you like an extra flair of statement.
Yes.
And I just love how you don't really have to wear anything else with them. They're just dainty, but they're like the perfect amount of, oh, what's that?
Like, hey.
Somebody's like, hey, what's that?
Yes.
Kind of questioning. So
goodness.
I have those. And then for my clay lovers, I just made these. These are like my vintage checkerboard type stuff. This was actually so cool. For Coeur d'Alene Garment District.
Cool.
Yeah, she wholesales my pieces. And
That's
then
amazing.
I have the necklaces that I just put out a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this one is the water drop. It's one of my favorites because I feel like it's really timeless.
Yes.
Something a bride could wear on her wedding day. Like simple, but like looking for a little bit of, fun and cute and dainty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you feel like brides come to you and say, I need a necklace, I need earrings? Help me accessorize?
I really haven't ever put out necklaces. This is like a couple weeks ago was my first ever drop for necklaces.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that I do get some brides or, them to like be like, oh, I need necklaces or for bridesmaids.
Yeah.
I get brides asking for gifts for their bridesmaids too. So that would be perfect for a gift or,
And I've seen a lot of brides do that too, where they'll give the bridesmaids the jewelry on the wedding day. And I think that's so special because they get to keep it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's something from them, Yeah. It's just a thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. This has been so good. And I'm sure I'll have more questions later and I'll be like, oh no, I forgot to ask you this. Is there anything else that you want to tell listeners?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. My web address is wherethewildflowersgrow.co. It's just kind of based off of my girls because my first name was Midnight Jade Co. And that was based off of my first daughter.
Oh, yes.
Her middle name is Jade. And I just wanted something that when I was rebranding, I wanted something that would work for all of my girls.
Yes.
Because I love them all.
Yes.
So, that's about it for me.
Oh, my goodness. No, that's great. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
You're such a light. And, I'm just so excited to point brides in your direction.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Talk Bridal to Me. I hope you have a day where you truly feel beautiful. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.